Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend, and I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. And you know what, sisters? It's time for our inspired goddess morning circle. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hello, goddesses. How are you all? It always just makes my day to see y'all are here when I do my job and let y'all know I'm going to be here. Hello, everyone. It is so good to see you all. Peace, Beehive. How are you, Ocean Kimmy? Hello. How are you, Bliss? Yes. Greetings. We've been missing you. Still learning. Tea in the house. How are you? T, let me know if because I'd be holding back from saying goddess and queen and everything. Keep me posted on, keep me straight. It just rolls out my mouth. Let's see here. Yes. Peace, Keita May. How are you? Welcome. Sharvika. How are you, queen? And we're live. Oh, good. Hey, Shannon. Welcome. Yes. We gotta have music, okay? We gotta have the music. Diza in the house. How are you, goddess? Welcome. Okay. So let me just turn this on down because I know it like garbles the sound of my voice. I don't know why, but it just does. So how are you all doing? I need to just make sure I pull this up to let y'all know. I would love to have y'all join me at thank you. You are good, T, because I do have a little gold in there, and then I put it on top of the red. Wow, you have an eye. I would never see something like that. Hey, Larissa, how are you? That's just blowing my mind right there. That is blowing my mind. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so it is my hope that you all will join me. If you're in the spiritual aspirant initiation, you are already a part of you're already gonna be a part of the what am I trying to say here? The retreat. The new moon retreats are back. I'm super excited about the new moon retreats. Just by the way, if anyone is new here, hello, my name is Tirra. I am a spiritual guide and a coach. I have 20 years of leading, guiding, and directing women using the oracles, which just means readings. I do readings for folks. But also, I love helping women like learn tools and have a goddess-centered lifestyle to help keep all of us, on the straight and narrow towards our destiny, towards happiness. And so that's what the Inspired Goddess Morning Circle is about. Because let me tell you something, a woman who is alone might be a woman who feels a little bit weak. It takes community to really make a goddess shine. And that's what we do here in the Inspired Goddess Morning Circle, typically on Wednesdays, but here lately I've been having to bounce it to different days, Tuesday or Thursday. But yeah, I have this new moon retreat coming up. I would love to have y'all join. I've reduced the price because I was doing the most, like trying to include all kinds of amenities with it. But I want to just really focus on us having this this focused and concentrated time, month after month after month, where we take time to like put a pause on things, go within, to look at what was, is there anything we need to retool as we move forward, but also to make different commitments month after month after month, because every new moon is different. Even this is the Taurus new moon, even the Taurus new moon, like last year, the Taurus new moon was eclipse. This is not an eclipse this year, okay? Because the eclipses are starting to move in a new direction. But this Taurus energy is about new beginnings, going in a new direction, being able to wildly swing your life in a new direction that's aligned with your life purpose. And the best time to work with this energy is when it is alive and then when it is active. You know how sometimes there have been times where, maybe you didn't feel well and everybody was like, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. And then, everyone was like, well, we're just going to wait. We're going to wait until, so and so is ready. And then by the time we get ready, no one wants to go. They've lost their high. They lost their buzz and, like the natural high, natural buzz, natural excitement to go. And you're like, yeah, I told y'all I'd be ready by this time. I wasn't feeling well earlier or whatever. And then it's kind of like, there was momentum earlier. I just didn't have it to go with it. But we have to begin to train ourselves wherever the momentum is in the best way we can. Because it's not all the time going to be like, I'm just so charged and energized with this new moon. It's not always like that. But to be intentional with the moon, to at least take that time to set the intentions so that you feel like, I remember when I was out in that ocean in Mexico, and as soon as we got out there to the middle, I was like panic stricken. Actually, I think we got in boats and they drove us out to the middle. We didn't swim out there. We were in a boat. They drove us out to the middle of the ocean and then we all jumped off the boat. I was like, I've never in my life done this before. And I slowly began to realize the only way I was going to make it out there is to work with that ocean. And so when that wave would push up against me, if that's the direction we were going in, I would just be swimming in that direction. And when it felt like there was nothing pushing me and I was working against it, I just sort of relaxed. And I began to notice every time I would put my head in the water and kick my feet, it was easier instead of working against the waves. I got so tired when I was out there fighting against the waves. And I was like, I may not have been here before, but I've listened to people on TV. They say, do not fight those waves. And that is the same as astrology. That's the same as astrological energy. It's just like the ocean. And so the new moon retreats help you to have the wave push you in the direction that you want to go, helps to guide you so that you're not like fighting and scratching and clawing all the time. This is why I do what I do, because I want to help you all understand, when do I sit? When do I move? When do I go slowly? When do I move fast? And so, because we're not always going to be like, oh, yeah, I know it's coming. No, we want to be ready, though. We want to be ready when that opportunity comes and you didn't even know it was going to come on that day. You want to be so aware, like, I know my opportunity is coming. I'm not quite sure. I kind of feel broke down today. Oh, there it is. I'm on it. I'm on it. So that's what the new moon retreats are about. Plus, if you're not in my YouTube membership, then you will also get, like, what does this mean for your signs, your sun, your moon, and ascendant? What's the best application of this new moon? That's not what I go over in the retreat. The retreat is a real retreat. We're doing real internal healing work in the retreat, transformational work in the retreat. Okay. So, oh shit, that's right. Happy anniversary, Shannon. Yes, that's wonderful. Please join in. I would love to have you. It will be amazing. Okay, you work morning on Tuesdays. That's right. It's on May 16th. Truth. Yesterday I felt like garbage, but I still went to my appointments. Nice. It was a major win for me. I looked out and said, "Oh yeah, give me the power of your rain, your winds, and your strength." And whoosh. I love that. Yes, we have floats on. Yeah, they would not have dropped us out there without those floats. All of us would have drowned, trust and believe, unless somebody had come and rescued us. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, when you have those times where you almost drown, it doesn't become fun. But no, we had on floats. There's no way I would have gone out there without a float. I've never swim in the middle of the ocean. But no, they knew what they were doing. And there was even these guys, we had 2 guides, and they had these, what are the little things called? The little ring thing, I don't know why it's not coming to my mind, and we could hold on to it, and they would say, "Kick," but they would drag us along. A lot of sisters out there, it was mostly women. Yeah, I think there was only 1 man with us. So all of the women who needed assistance, and trust and believe, I was one of those sisters at times that was holding on. Um, they helped us. Oh Lord. Okay. So y'all, I'm gonna turn some music on. I need to go get my dog. It's starting to rain. So I want y'all to party. See, this is why I love StreamYard, because when I need to take a break, I can take one. I'll be right back. Let me find it. It's coming. I promise it's coming. Oh my gosh. I even let myself. This is what happens when you do stuff live, baby. Anything is possible. Uh, oh my gosh. Okay, Queens. That was different. I think Still Learning must have known something was up. I'm like, and whoosh, it's big old drops out there. But I at least I have a spiritual bath. I got a spiritual bath today, y'all. Ah, oh my goodness. Where is that one? Oh my gosh. Where did I put? Oh, there we go. Okay. So something I want to do, if y'all are okay with it, after we do just a little bit of our morning inspired morning goddess stuff that we do, is I want to take a little time to look at Jamie Foxx's astrology chart. I got so concerned last night when I heard I saw on comedy hype that the family is hoping for the best but preparing for the worst. I'm like, what is that? Jamie Foxx has been in the hospital a long time and is very secretive, you know? So I was like, let me pull up his chart. And it's interesting because he has Venus in Scorpio, and these Scorpio eclipses, even the one in Aries, it happened very close to his Venus. Okay, where did I put this? Coaching. Um, right here. Open with. Okay. So let me see what y'all said in the comments. I hope I pulled up the right one. Oh, I did not. Dang. I see y'all enjoyed the music. Yes. Yes, over 2 decades. Y'all crack me up. Oh my gosh, y'all crack me up. Yes. Hey, Rachel, how are you? Yes, cup of Shango. Cup of Shango. I have water this morning. Oh, so I chose this particular mug. It says, I got my MBA in manifesting. It's a program I went through called Manifestation Babe Academy. And because Taurus is about manifesting, and that's what the upcoming retreat is about, I didn't even tell y'all the name. Y'all probably read it with all the talking I did, but oh, no. So the theme for the retreat is worth, a circle gathering experience on money, your unique brilliance, and receiving. Our intention is that you walk away feeling empowered around money and owning your greenback, the currency you bring to the table. So it's not even just greenbacks, but it's your own personal currency, which we all have. Okay, I see I did not bring that into the stream. Yes, a worth. It's about our worth because that's what Taurus is about. A circle gathering experience on money, your unique brilliance, and receiving. You're going to feel empowered around money, owning your greenback, the currency you bring to the table. So way cool. Okay, wait a minute. Who is Judy? Did I miss a Judy? Hello, Judy. If I missed Judy, I'm sorry if I missed you. It really is. Yeah. Where is Judy? Eileen is saying hello to Judy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I miss Judy? So yeah, we're gonna look at Jamie Foxx a little bit. I'm glad some of y'all are saying, yeah, let's see what's going on with Brahman. So let's just go on ahead and talk about today. I decided I wanted to do just a simple mindfulness practice on resting the mind. And yeah, it just seems like a lot has been going on, and it would be nice just to take a moment just to rest our minds. And so you can just go on ahead and begin to get comfortable. And what we're going to do is to acknowledge that we cannot always control the mind, but we can encourage the mind to be more at ease. And this helps us to respond rather than react with our thoughts and emotions, which in fact may be something to, a good case in point, because Cancerian energy is becoming more and more highlighted with Venus being there. I love having opportunities to train the mind to slow down when it becomes overactive. Many of us have overactive minds. And for me, sometimes it even feels like my mind is like torturing me. It feels torturous to just have my mind racing, racing, racing. And it's so easy for that to happen when we have so much information coming into our space with, being in the information age. So, what we want to do is practice ease and relaxation instead of perpetuating these other mental states that lead to this overactivity or that involve this overactivity in the mind. And as always, with our mindfulness practice, we want to remember that we have different attitudes that we can embrace. And one is being non judgmental. That is one of the best things that we can do because the mind will be overactive, the mind will float to and fro. And so there's no judgment in that. There's no judgment in mindfulness. This is your opportunity to be in a judgment free zone, especially of yourself, because we can be our own worst critics. And so I just encourage you, aside from being non judgmental, to be compassionate to yourself during our practice. And the more we practice our mindfulness with non judgment and compassion, what will end up happening is we become this in our own lives. Like just when we're not sitting on our mats, when we're not on our cushions, we will be in life being more non judgmental to ourselves and more compassionate. And when we can be non judgy of ourselves and have that self compassion, we then, because our cup is full, can offer and extend that to others. So if you would just go on ahead and maybe take a nice big cleansing breath, a big breath in and exhale out through your mouth. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. If you feel okay, close your eyes or just lower your gaze to limit visual distractions. And just taking a few more deep breaths. Inhaling, filling your lungs completely. Hold that breath for a second or two. Exhale slowly. Recognizing that you cannot control every thought that arises. So just connect with your intention to relax the mind. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Long, slow, deep breath out. And if thoughts are present, just leave them be. Keep that breath going. Inhale and exhale. If your mind is too distracted, you can even say inhale on the inhale and silently say in your mind exhale on the exhale, on the out breath. I want you to offer yourself two simple phrases of kindness towards the mind. May my mind be at ease. You can say that silently to yourself, to your mind. May my mind be at ease. And here's the second one. May I be at ease with my mind. May I be at ease with my mind. And we can try it this way. On the inhale, may my mind be at ease. Exhale, may I be at ease with my mind. Inhale, may my mind be at ease. Exhale, may I be at ease with my mind. We're going to just do that a few more times. Just as you hear each word, just connect with your own intention to care for the mind. And when the thinking mind starts up, just come back to the breath and the phrases. And even if you can only say one phrase before the mind wanders, you are still moving towards relaxation by continuing to practice. May my mind be at ease. May I be at ease with my mind. I'm just going to do that one more round silently to yourself. And when you're ready, you can go on ahead and open your eyes. And I just encourage you to watch your mind during the day, noticing when it becomes uncomfortable and agitated, and offering yourself those phrases. May my mind be at ease. May I be at ease with my mind. Making sure you bring in that breath. Thank y'all for participating in this. Okay. Yeah. Um, okay. Mindfulness practice. I love mindfulness so much. I feel so much better. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see here. I pulled up the wrong happy pocket full of money. I was so happy that we got to a new chapter. Here we go. Where are we? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Right here. Let me take this one out. Open with. Yeah. Microsoft Edge. I don't know where I saved it. Maybe this is it right here. Because I was about to have a, as we would say back in the day, a hissy fit. Oh, well. Okay. It looks like this is the one. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have highlighted so much in this book. And I do my best to save it every time. But I know that we got through this chapter. No. I don't know where I saved it because this is okay. I don't know where we were in the book, so we're just gonna jump in wherever I Hey Shadow. I was wondering what Eileen was talking about. Hey Shadow, when I was doing the mindfulness practice, I was like, let me focus because I'm just cracking up. Good. Glad to hear that. Nice. Okay. Yes. I'm glad to hear that. Yes. Honestly, mindfulness helps with pain. So definitely do that more. It will help you bliss. Okay. Y'all, I'm so upset. I know I saved it somewhere, but I don't know where I saved it. So let me just see what was the last one. You now about images. All things help comes from visualizing goals. I'm trying to see, does this sound familiar? I think I know where we need to go. This is when, oh my gosh. Okay. What am I doing here? Let me bring this back into, let me bring screen share. Okay. Images of the mind, the blueprint of life. I don't remember if we did this yet because this is not the one. I was like looking at the quotes. So let's just see if it sounds familiar. If this sounds familiar, let me know because he's kind of repetitive in this book. And so for those who haven't been here before, this is called A Happy Pocket Full of Money. And I like studying this book because it helps us to understand quantum physics. It's not just about manifesting money, but it is definitely about manifesting in general. It can definitely help you with that. And it also helps with understanding quantum physics. Okay, so images of the mind. That's why I'm like, I think we did this before. So I feel like my mouse is trying to quit on me. Um, okay, I'm gonna go to the next chapter just because I know for a fact we focus a lot on images of the mind. So let's look at the next chapter. Okay, thinking and speaking, the instructions of and for life. Let me take a little sip. Okay, closely related to images are thoughts because we did talk about taking the time to see, and this is because the subconscious mind thinks in pictures, sounds, and feelings, and the conscious mind is the goal setter, but the unconscious mind, the subconscious mind, is the goal getter. And if we want to manifest, then we have to align with how does the subconscious mind work. It's just to me a really um I don't know, interesting and cool way that the universe set up how manifesting works in this space-time continuum. And part of the reason a lot of us struggle with manifesting what we desire is because we don't understand how does manifestation really work. We're powerful manifestors always, all the time. But the question is, how does manifestation really work? Okay? And that's what we have not been taught, but that's what this book is all about. And it is what you see, what you feel, what you hear on a regular basis. This is what you are going to experience. And that's why sometimes it's not just about thought, which is what we're going to talk about. It has to be all of it. So we can visualize, I want whatever it is. I'm just making something up. I want this particular house. But or we can think that I want this house. But if on the inside we feel I can't have this house, then we're not going to get the house. What we would have to do is to get ourselves aligned with the feeling of having the house. Okay. So that's just a recap of what we've focused on in the last chapter. This one is about thoughts. So it says, just as life is images of the mind expressed, is also thoughts of the mind expressed. In other words, life is the mind expressed. I like that. We're going to use pink because Venus is in Cancer right now. Your external reality is the densest part of your mind. I like that. I like that. I mean, just think about it. The external reality that we're experiencing is the densest part of our mind without any separation. The separation between you and your outside world is illusionary. As we move into the book, you will come to see firsthand how this is so scientifically and spiritually. Your life is your mind expressed. And the outer world is the densest part of yourself. It's an extension of your mind. And sometimes, even in my mind, I imagine that everything that I'm experiencing is just like coming out right here through my third eye. And it's like a projector. That's how I see it. How do y'all see it? I do too, Ocean Kimmy. I love this book. When you finally will stop believing in the illusion of separation, your power will rise dramatically. But even now, you may still change your mind to change your world. Change your mind to change your world. And you will now see how this happens as we move on further into this book. You will see scientific and further evidence of this. Eventually, the illusion of separation will fall off totally, and you will have mastered this. But even now, just knowing is empowering. This chapter is a course in how to think in ways that are friendly to the universe and its laws, ways to co-create the universe itself purposely into one that you wish to live and not one that you wish to find yourself in. I love that so, so much. We want to co-create so we live the life we desire for ourselves and not one that we just like, I'm just here. Okay. In this chapter, there will be several mentions of the laws of the universe. These are the laws that you will learn throughout this book and not necessarily in this chapter alone. The pieces of the puzzle will fall in place as you read on. So let's dive into the mind, which is the densest part of your world. So again, life is your thoughts express. And so that is also, let us paraphrase what we learned about images over here. Okay. Life, the source, uses your thoughts as the instructions by which to create your reality in the material world. I think that's a really important statement right there. Source uses our thoughts as the instructions by which to create our material reality, our respective material realities. Okay. Life expresses your thoughts into physical reality. To express is to make known, to state, to articulate, to convey. So I think it's just really important for us to be. That's why I was saying, y'all, the new moon retreats, that's what they're about, to help us um just every month take time to stop and really see, what am I thinking about? What am I focused on? How can I fine tune what I'm thinking so that I can bring something new and different into my life? The force of life makes known your thoughts to yourself and everyone else by forming them into experiences and objects that can be experienced here in the physical world. Another thing I want to just throw in there is how it doesn't matter what shows up in our lives. Don't judge it. It's really a testament that you're a powerful manifester. You can manifest whatever. And if when we go into those quiet spaces, we can really hear the truth of what we think about ourselves, what we think about our lives. We could be saying one thing to the world, Lawrence Dunbar, we wear the mask. Maya Angelou even talks, she included it. Maybe I'm just thinking about my graduation, but you know, we have these smiles on our face, like, no, because we're positive, we're optimistic, we want the best for everybody. But on the inside, what are our true thoughts? Those are the ones that are the most powerful. And that's why it's so important for us to take that time to get mindful, to slow the mind down and see what is there and be curious about it, not judge ourselves. It's like, dang, I think that about myself. I think that about the kind of job I'm doing in my life. If that's what I'm thinking, do I even think I'm going to do something different? Maybe I need to make some changes, right? That's the beauty of understanding this. We don't want to weaponize it against ourselves. We want to use these kinds of teachings to say, okay, how can I fine tune my life? How can I refine the way that I'm thinking, feeling, experiencing my inner world, which is showing me in my outer world what's going on the inside? No judgment, no judgment. You experience your own thoughts firsthand, your images of your mind, so that you may know which ones are suitable and which ones are not. That is how you know yourself. That is how you experience yourself. And that is how you grow. This world is designed to enable you to experience yourself. I think this is probably, if you thought, I need one spiritual thought, one. If you were only given one spiritual principle to live by, I would say strongly consider this one. This world is designed to enable you to experience yourself, self-realization. If that is what we are hyper focused on, then it's like there's not really any right or wrong. I get to experience myself in all different ways, and I get to choose the one that I most like, right? It is designed to enable you to experience an idea and its effects and consequences. Okay. Your state of wealth internally is an extension and testament of your state of wealth. Excuse me. Your state of wealth externally is an extension and testament of your state internally. How clear and certain you are in thoughts of wealth is evidenced externally. And one thing that I have learned about that is you can adjust it, because we have an upper range and we have a lower range for um like our wealth, and like the amount of wealth and abundance we are willing to let in. There's a certain amount we will never go below, and then there's an amount that if we go above it, we feel uncomfortable, and it's kind of like, well, the subconscious mind likes things to be the same. It's like just one, just keep going, we're going to be on the same track. It likes to just repeat itself over and over and over. The subconscious mind is the only way we're going to get out of the comfort zone, but the subconscious mind likes the comfort zone. It's crazy, but it's just how it is. And so there's a comfort zone for wealth and abundance that we all have. Even if we say I want more money, for some people when they get more money, they'll find a way to spend it all, or they will lose a job or something, because it's outside of your comfort zone. And that's why being so aware of this process. So just like I was saying earlier, when we are, well, no, I was talking to somebody else. I thought it was another conversation. So when we get to that level of, I am at this place where I am truly going up the spiral. In the goddess tradition, we use the spiral. And that's why I love, it doesn't have to be linear. See, we think so linearly because of the masculine. It's like straight and direct. But when we want to incorporate more of the feminine to our lives, we want to think about the spiral. And so with the spiral, it's like I'm going up the spiral. Like I don't have to be at the top of the spiral. The only thing that matters is I notice that I'm now up on the next tier, and then I've evolved to the next tier, and then I've evolved to the next tier, right? And so when we are aware of we're moving up, then when we get there and we're outside of our comfort zone because we have more of what we want in our lives, it's like, no, I just have to allow myself to kind of get used to it. I have to allow this to be my comfort zone. But make no mistake about it, we have a range, one that we will not go below, and then one that we won't go above. And those are but we can shift it. It's like a window, and you can shift it up, you can shift it down, however you want. Okay. So it's like if you're looking at your life and you're like, I don't like the level of wealth that I have. This sucks. I used to think it really sucks that I don't have the level of wealth that I want. I'm a bad person, or I suck at this or something. No, that's not the case. It's really like, no, I'm aware of where I am. And so now what I need to do is to shift my internal world. And we do this through gratitude. So yeah, this person may not have the most, but what do you have? And so we just continue to give thanks for what we have. It's like, I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for that. And when we feel a little bit jealous, I've heard people say jealousy is really just you're seeing in somebody else what you want for yourself. But also, you can just remind yourself, everybody has a level of abundance. And I don't like, we actually don't even want the same kind of abundance. We have been sold, this is what is true abundance, and this is what is wealth. And, it's kind of like this value that has been put on it. But for some people, abundance it looks nothing like what we have been sold in Western culture. For some people, abundance is they just get to sit and look at the mountain and just be. For some people, especially if you have had trauma to the body and you get delivered from it. Say, for instance, someone who has been sick is now well. Their abundance, I bet you, has nothing to do with stuff. Because let me tell you, stuff don't fix you when you're sick. Okay. Stuff, you can be more comfortable if you don't have to, especially basic necessities, if you don't have to fight for them. But when you get your health back, man, freedom. If someone has lost their freedom and now they have their freedom back, their definition of wealth may look different. People who are in countries that are less developed than where we are, and they don't have all the amenities that we have. Once they come to the United States, they can live and experience certain things that we would be like, I don't ever want to be that. That's not for me. That's below my level of my lower zone of abundance. But for them, it matches our upper zone for abundance, because they know what it's like maybe to not even really have much food, or not have a place that, it's like you folks can't just walk in here. So we all want a different, what abundance and wealth means to each person is different. For some people, it's relationships. They know what it's like to be lonely. They could care less about stuff. They want a friend, they want a partner, they want a relationship. So we all get to choose. And all we have to do is, if we don't have what we want, we can just say, you know what? I just need to get more clarity on what it is that I want and focus only on that. Because when we focus on what we don't want, trust me, the universe is not hearing don't. It is just hearing, it's just experiencing energy. And it's like, this is what she's most focused on. What she's saying, poverty or debt or no relationship, and everyone has it better than me. Like when the universe hears that, it's not even, you might be saying, I don't want this. The universe is just like, I'm matching her energy. I'm matching her energy. And so that's what the spiritual practice is about. Okay. Okay. I so agree with the entire paragraph. Controlling what my mindset is how I have survived my injury, not allowing myself to dwell on the fact that I can't do certain things. That's a good point. I've heard so many people who were able-bodied people, and then something happens and now, they can't function the way that they used to, but they fully remember it. And it is very challenging from what I can see. And so, for instance, I experienced that for a year. After I had COVID, I had long haulers for a year, and I was devastated. I was like, I've always had energy and I've always been motivated. I had no motivation. I did not have energy. My brain fog was worse than ever. But I look normal, and so that's another thing. You look normal and no one thinks anything is wrong with you, but you're like, I know how I used to operate and this is not it, right? When my health came back, I was like so happy. But not everyone has that experience, but it's maddening. It's maddening is what I can tell. But like what you're saying, Shannon, it's like, let me give thanks for what I have. I don't like looking at other people like, okay, they have less than me, so I need to be grateful for what I have. But some days I will do that. I would be like, I may not have everything that I want, but I'm gonna give thanks for what I got, because it could be worse. Yes, still learning. Gratitude opens the portal and keeps it open. It's true. It's why I have a daily gratitude practice. Daily. I gained so much of my life back once I stopped listening to the diagnosis. I am not my injury. I love that, Shannon. That's powerful. That is powerful. Okay, Diza. Hey, Felicia. Good morning. How are you? Yes, 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 yes. Yes. So the body is so easy to get lost in it. But we always have to remember that we are powerful goddesses that inhabit this body temple. And I don't try to tell people how to live, because I've never had something that was so debilitating that I don't know that experience. But what I will say is, what I watch is those and I remember, I think it was me studying for my mindfulness certification. It was something I read that said the outcome that the people experienced largely had to do with their attitude. So it was like people who got, say, for instance, a cancer diagnosis, and we're like, this is the worst thing ever. And we've even heard people get the cancer diagnosis, boom, they checked out. They gone, like right as soon as they get it. And then I think about Melody, a friend of mine. Um, I was roommates with her. Her There was a man I used to be a roommate with. He's my homeboy. He's gone to the other side, Chris. But I met Melody through Chris because they have a son together. And so we've connected on Facebook, and I've been watching Melody for years fight cancer. I don't remember exactly where hers started, and she's been given so many, like, we're done. You can't keep with this experimental treatment anymore. Recently, they told her this is it, and she's like, I'm not buying that. And just yesterday, I think day before yesterday, she posted, okay, I'm back. I'm getting my chemotherapy again. She was like, I'm gonna fight to the end, right? It makes a difference how you see things, how you experience them, what you think about it. I've seen people feel like crap, but they're just like, I'm not gonna let that stop me, you know? So the inner workings really do matter. The inner workings really do matter. We have sisters here. See? That's why we do not, that's why we stay in charge. We stay sovereign over our own health. Still learning. My health disappeared when I was 18, but I thank God I had ancestral sense to not listen, okay, to most initial medical opinions. There was this calling inside of me that said, there is something more. Yes, I love that. Hey, Natasha. Yeah, it's nice when you can meet doctors who are more, um, I don't know, who don't think they're God and they have final say so in our lives. So, okay, let's just do a little bit more. Life does not select which thoughts to express and which ones not to. How would it choose for you? It therefore expresses all of them to the extent that you have believed them. You have true free will, and this free will is truly free because of the fact that all of it is acted upon without filtering or favoring. Free will is truly free will because of the fact that it actually gets results all the time, not just some of the time, and it gets them exactly. To the extent that your thoughts are not conscious, deliberate, and focused in any topic of your life, you will be affected by the outcome of the thoughts of other people. Look, we're just talking about that with the doctors. Wow. And to the extent that your thoughts are clear, focused, and non contradictory, your results will be sped up. A few people are able to perform what many people would call miracles simply by thinking only one way strongly about a thing. The idea that the outcome of their intention may not happen as they wish it to happen does not even occur to them for even a split moment. Okay. So I needed to hear that this morning. The way I describe it is, once I make up in my mind I'm going to do something, it will be done. Once I make up in my mind I'm going to do something, it will be done. One pointed focus. I remember there's this story that I heard in the Bible about this man who waited, it sounded like for decades. I don't remember the full story, for the Savior. I don't know if he called the name Jesus, but he was waiting for that special person to show up at this fountain. He was old when he finally saw Jesus. And to me, that's an example of one pointed focus. Another one who I love to talk about is Harriet Tubman. You could not stop Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman wasn't worried about nothing and nobody, because she said, I hear the voice of God. She could not read. She could not write. This woman was not educated. And she said the way she got from being enslaved to getting to Canada was God Almighty led her to exact. She said, I just listened to God. This woman even had epilepsy. I just listened to God. I just did what God told me to do. And so that's why I love studying the ancestors, and I love studying people um or who are I could perceive to be ethical and moral. I study them to see what is it that they think, how did they operate, how did they act, what is it that made them successful, and then I'm going to model it. That's what NLP is about. You want to model what you see other people doing. If you want more money, model the people who have more money. And maybe you need to find the one who is maybe one click before you. It might just be a coworker or a neighbor, and or just somebody you know in your community, and you can tell they're good with money. Ask them, how are you so good with money? What is it that you do? And then go do that. Guess what? You're going to get the same results. You'll get the same results. And the other part about it is when we're headed in a direction, we have to take on that identity, and we have to take on the values. Because people who say, for instance, if you want to be more disciplined in exercise, it's not about go buy the clothes and put it on your calendar. It's not that. It is, you have to take on the identity. I am someone who exercises, and then you have to take on the values of people who exercise. And so people who exercise, they value exercising at the same time every day. I'm just making something up. This is typically, it's kind of like typical for them. They will exercise at the exact same time every day. It is on their calendar. It is standing. That's why when putting it on your calendar matters. It's like they value exercise so much so that they have non-negotiable times for that. And so these are the things that help to make the biggest difference in us being able to take our lives in the direction that we want it to go in. And so when we notice, you know what, I don't have that value. We always have non-judgment and self-compassion. Those have to be our ever-present traveling buddies. Non-judgment, self-compassion. Okay, so part of here is for me to manifest. All right, I'm not working out. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna keep studying these people until I get it. Maybe it's money, maybe it's relationships, maybe it's hobbies or starting a business, traveling. All we have to do is just say, okay, I'm here. I'm at point A. Point B is where I'm headed, or maybe spiral B is where I'm headed. And so who do I need to be? How do I need to think? How do I need to feel? What do I need to value in order to move in that direction? What do I have to believe? The beliefs that I have, the thoughts that I have, are they leading me to where I want to go, or away from where I want to go? Most of us actually don't want to be thinking about too much about what we're thinking, because we're like, oh, it's so negative. But that's the only way we're going to get out of it. It's like, okay, let me just acknowledge this is where I am. And it's not getting me to where I want to go. So, okay. Hold on. My ex struggled mentally with his childhood trauma. Once those issues took over, he died of cancer within 2 years. Wow. A very healthy young man, otherwise, very mindful of what he put in his body. Trauma ain't no joke. Yep. Just what you said, still learning. Here it was the truth. That's true. So I'm happy to hear about you doing EMDR. I don't exactly know what it is, but I do hear people talking about it all the time. And I hear so many good things. I know it has to do with emotions and stuff like that. Harriet Tubman came through as a guardian. Wow. That is exciting to hear. Yeah, Harriet Tubman she's one of I claim her as an ancestor. She's what I call a universal ancestor. Okay, let me see here. Let me just do a little bit more, and then we're going to move on to Jamie Foxx. Suffering is always the result of an error in thinking. Let's say that again. Suffering is always an error. Is always the result. Me and my mouse. Suffering is always the result of an error in thinking. This is why when we're suffering, we don't beat ourselves up. We don't curse the world. It's just, okay, what am I thinking? What am I thinking? What am I thinking? It is an indication of being out of harmony with the laws of the universe. The only purpose behind the existence of suffering is to show a person when a thought is in error and alert them of the existence of a higher thought that would serve them better. The purpose behind suffering is to show a person when a thought is in error and alert them of the existence of a higher thought that would serve them better. Suffering stops as soon as the higher way is found. Okay? That higher thought. In the presence of suffering, try not to resist. Oh my God, this is so good. This one gets blue. In the presence of suffering, try not to resist. I remember recently in one of my mindfulness classes, just really saying, you know what? Or I don't know what it was. I've been doing so much work here lately. Suffering is a part of life. It's just part of what it means to be in a human body. We will suffer. And we have just been so, like, we haven't been given the strength to understand. Some of it is, I think, I was telling somebody this morning, we are resilient as children, but if that trauma does not get resolved, we lose our resilience. And so we have to reclaim that as adults. Okay. And so what we have to do is, we have to acknowledge when we have that trauma that's in the body and learn how to navigate life so that we can get ourselves healed up. But outside of that, we have been, like, really encouraged to not be okay with suffering. It's like the worst thing in the world. But when we are suffering and we can embrace, this is a part of the human experience, and I'm just going to be present to it. It makes the suffering so much easier to bear. So much. And I always remember, trouble don't last always. Things are going to come and things are going to go. It's just how life operates. So instead, examine with an open mind, and the answer will always show itself to you without fail. Okay. Concentration gives thoughts more power and speed in achieving goals. What are you concentrating on? That's the question I have for you. Your dreams, thoughts, and visions will build your world. You will rise and fall with the rising and falling of your thoughts. Repetition breeds integration and internalization. Like, this man is giving you or us everything we need to know to attain wisdom. Read this material repeatedly and think in the right way over and over again. Through repetition, things are embedded into your subconscious. It's just like I talked about. The subconscious mind, in order to get it to shift and go into a new comfort zone, you do have to do this thing over and over and over. But that's what it loves. And finally, it wraps around like, okay, she wants this. This is what we're going to give her, right? So they cross over and become you. And you can predict your future by looking at the words, thoughts, words, and actions of today and applying the laws of cause and effect to them. Okay, I'm going to say this again. And I need to save it in mindfulness. I don't know why I thought I had it in coaching, but I'm gonna put it here. Mindfulness. I'll probably put a different date on it or something. Okay, so there we go. Yes, okay. Let me do it that way. I didn't know I would go this long without looking at it. So that's our happy pocket full of money today. I didn't want to say anything. I said I just let Eileen, Ocean Kimmy tell him. The Way of Liberation by Adyashanti is a great book to help with those who need to learn more about not just being the body. Beautiful. Thank you for that. That's right. Thank you. I appreciate you. That always touches me. I appreciate you, Natasha. Thank you so much. Okay. Let me see here. Yes. All right. So, let me pull up Jamie Foxx's chart. I think that we have the right time. Jamie. Because it was a very specific time. I was like, that's specific. So we just gonna go with it because I think it's correct. Okay. Okay, so I have that he was born December 13th, 1967 at 4:50 p.m. in Terrell, Texas, which I didn't know he was from Texas. So, with him being a comedian, I can imagine Jamie Foxx is a Gemini rising. It just seems like it has to be so. Um, so, you know, I'll never forget when Sharmika mentioned how the comedians have really had it rough, or it was a lot going on with comedians. And so, it hasn't been that long since the eclipses were in Gemini and Sag. Okay. And so for me, some of and the fact that he's a Sagittarius and he even has Mercury in Sagittarius is extremely telling, because Sagittarius, the part of the eclipse that was there was the part that's like, hey, release and let go. And I just think people who are very driven have to learn how to take time off. I don't know what Jamie Foxx did for his self-care. But that was something that the Sages really needed to do. So I'm going to repeat myself. Scorpios, you're supposed to be taking care of yourself, okay? And Libras, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, doesn't matter which one. I have just seen so much with these eclipses. The part that's about releasing and letting go is just so, so important. And so, maybe Jamie Foxx, and it's something I'm noticing with some of the Sages, you're supposed to zig, but you zagged. And I don't know. I'm just like, to see how saggy he is. I'm like, okay. So that's number one. It's been hard on the Sages and the Geminis to a certain degree too. But we can see he has Venus in Scorpio. When did Jamie Foxx get sick? Does anybody have a date? Jamie Foxx. Uh, I don't think I spelled it right. Yeah, I hear a lot of people say that Keita May, Jamie Foxx. It's been about 3 weeks. If let me go to the news, because sometimes you can kind of go back. You can Jamie for oh my gosh. You can kind of scroll back and see 27 days. What? It's been that long. Wow. Okay, so it's been almost a month. It looks like it's been about a month. Woo. Okay, so when was that eclipse? Let's see here. We had an eclipse happen this is April, right? No, that's March. We had an eclipse happen on the 20th at the 29th degree of Aries, but that eclipse point was still in Taurus. and then the one at 14 degrees. Okay, so that's pretty close to his Venus. Okay, and then let's see here. He has his south node. If this is correct, if it's the correct time, his south node is at 26 degrees. Of Libra, and so that node of the moon. So it's like a double drain on him because we already have the south node draining from his Scorpio house. That's what the south node does. It's like release and let go, right? And then the south node is where it's a place of draining. It's a place of releasing and letting go, right? And so that south node got drained double with that eclipse because it was at the 29th degree, very karmic, Let's see here. Capricorn, Aries, Cancer. Okay. So he didn't have anything in those. Okay. But then, that 14 degrees at Scorpio, and I'm going to be honest with you, seems like there was an eclipse in the fall that would have been right there on his Venus. I'm sorry to be scrolling so fast, y'all, but this is how we do it in astrology. So look at that. 2 degrees of Scorpio. There was one at 2 degrees of Scorpio in October. And then 16 degrees. That Venus has been getting hit up a lot. Okay. And so Venus is right here. It rules his house. It has to do with acting and being creative. It has to do with it could have something to do with children, but his daughter, is being there for him. I'll tell you that much. She's being there for him. It has to do with dating and what makes you unique and stand out. So, that Venus is getting drained. I don't know if he's supposed to be taking his career in a new direction. And that's what Keita May is saying, that what I hear a lot of people say, Dave Chappelle is who I heard mention it, is the industry, if you start getting free and they don't want you to be free, something to happen to you. I have no proof of that. I have no proof of it. But I hear so many people, not so many, but several people in the industry. I think I heard more. What's his name? It'll come to me. I see his face. Let's see here. Oh, and then look at this. Taurus is his 12th house. If this time of birth is correct, Taurus is his 12th house. And again, the 12th house is about liberation. It's about being freed up. His Lilith is getting hit up. That Lilith is like, maybe there was some healing Jamie Foxx needed to do. I don't know much about Jamie Foxx. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know his work. I've been there to watch him rise and ascend, but I don't keep up with, a lot about his history or anything. But I wonder if there's some wounding or something like that, but it's something internal. And I remember someone wrote, he's very fortunate to be alive. And I can see that because this is a house that has to do with death, liberation of the body. That Venus is telling me, where else do I look to find, like, why is Jamie, look at this. This 12th house is being in the hospital. So if Jamie Foxx survives, I think that it'll be into next year that we'll see he's starting to make a comeback, because that's serious. If his moon is really in the 12th house, if we have the right time of birth, then the last eclipse, actually the one that was in Scorpio at the 14th degree, yeah, it may have been in Scorpio, but you have to remember it was full moon. So the sun was over here by his moon, and then the moon was over here. So that involved his moon, and it actually did involve this Lilith. So I can see why Jamie Foxx is struggling. And then I hadn't even said this. If this chart is correct, that means that he has that all of this happening in Scorpio. This is for all Geminis. Geminis have had to really be on top of their health. And so, but especially him, because he has Neptune there, he has Venus there, and those eclipses, if there's a planet there, it activates that house even more. It activates the meaning of the house even more. So when we look astrologically, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise to see Jamie Foxx is struggling and fighting, perhaps fighting for his life right now. I feel for him. I really do. Um, Now Jupiter is on his north node. It just passed by. Let me go back to 2023. It's been rough, y'all. I've heard so many people have lost family members, and I know people die all the time. I know this. My husband is a pastor, and I'm not gonna say it's the third week in a row, but I want to say it's the third weekend in about a month that he's gonna be officiating a funeral. Two of whom we actually know personally, from the other church that he used to be at. I don't know if I told you my husband's pastor of a new church now. Um, June, okay. So, let's see here, Scorpio. Oh, Jupiter. That's what I want to know. Jupiter today. What's today, y'all? The 11th. Okay, so Jupiter is on the 28th degree. And Jupiter is delivering. I stand corrected. I was a little bit frustrated with Jupiter, but it has been delivering in some way. But y'all, we really and truly need to just lay low and just be careful until Jupiter goes on over in the Taurus, because it starts getting really stressful when it starts getting on these last degrees of a sign, especially something like Aries. Oh my gosh. It could just be very volatile. Okay. But we can see Jupiter has gone over his node. And so this node, um, I think that Jamie Foxx, if he survives, which I pray he does, he's gonna come out and be like, I'm about to go back to church. If he hadn't been going to church, he's gonna be very religious or spiritual, and I think it's gonna change his life quite a bit. Um, So we'll see what happens. Jupiter is now, I'm going to tell you the downside of Jupiter going into this 12th house. Um, Jupiter rules Pisces. So to be a part of the 12th house is not out of the way for Jupiter. But what I would be concerned with is somebody who is looking at this from an astrological perspective is Jupiter is going to do one or two things. That's it. Is he going to make what's happening exacerbate, or it's going to fix it? That's it. So, the fact that Jamie Foxx is beloved and has so many people praying for him is very good. Because when Jupiter goes into the 12th house of Jamie Foxx, we just have to hope and pray that it's going to bring a blessing, because Jupiter, it is a benefic planet, but it indiscriminately blows up what's there. So when we think about a happy pocket full of money and all this talk of, like, what you're thinking about, this error in thinking. If we have an error of thinking and Jupiter comes in, we cannot necessarily expect Jupiter to just give us what we want, even though we're sitting in the midst of an error of thinking. It's gonna blow up that error of thinking. Now the blessing comes from Jupiter is like, I gave you exactly what you want based on what you were thinking, but I'm also going to give you some wisdom. You can learn something from it, maybe so that you can manifest differently next time. Okay. So that's the only concern I see about Jupiter moving into um, Taurus for Jamie Foxx. It's gonna, he has a Taurus moon just like me. I'm just really now focusing on that. Um, so yeah, it's one of those moments I look and I'm just like, oh my God. Ooh. So I'm gonna tell y'all dates that we can think about just really being concerned. I'll say it that way for Jamie. Fox is going to be actually starting in June, around the solstice. We're going to start seeing something is changing. We're going to hear something about him, for sure. And then after that, it'll be, oh, wow, it's not going to hit his moon. It's not going to hit his moon. So then the next time we're going to hear is going to be around November. And then I guess it'll be into next year that it's going to hit his moon. Wow. You're kidding me. Ooh wee. Yeah. His moon is what, 17 degrees? So, something else, prayerfully, hopefully, mothers, please bless his life. Hopefully he'll be here next March. It'll be March into April that we'll hear something about Jamie Foxx. Wow. And then Jupiter goes into Gemini next May. That's amazing. We for real get one full year with Jupiter being in Taurus. All right, y'all. let me just take a few breaths because I'm like, oh my goodness. Woo, woo, woo. Man, y'all get ready for things to change for me, please. I'm Jupiter. I'm acting right, Jupiter. Jupiter, I'm a good girl. Oh gosh. Let's see here. Mm-hmm. Aw. I see Taurus in him. He had a traumatic childhood around parenting. Okay, see, Ocean Kimmy is, yes, I'm glad you know this. Because where are we? That moon in the 12th house, that lets me know something about family. Oh, and then this Lilith being there, something in his subconscious mind, I can imagine. Maybe something with the mother, but definitely the moon is the family. Whenever I see the moon or the sun in the 12th house, I'm like, was everything okay with your family? Like, is there some wounding? And it could be secrets too, because the 12th house can be very, very secretive. Oh, he was adopted by his grandmother or an older woman. I was just about to say, of course you like Jamie, because you are a Gemini. Yes. Yeah, Layla. Actually, I plan on getting those on the calendar. I've been working on, like, I've got to get this done. Oh, hold on, y'all. I just saw something else in his chart that I love. So let me tell you where Jamie Foxx has a lot happening in his favor. Oh, I'm so grateful to see this. So I want y'all to always remember Earth supports Earth. Okay. Earth supports Earth. So if a planet is in one Earth sign, the other Earth signs are receiving a blessing, a gift from it. Yes. So Jupiter is going to come into Taurus. And this is 24. Let me go back to 2023. These are dates where I think it could be, we'll get a message of like, okay, Jamie Foxx is doing well. It is because his Jupiter is at 5 degrees of Virgo. Taurus is Earth, Virgo is Earth. Okay, here's May. So right around, we're just going to say at the end of May, around May 30th through, even when I say there's going to be some activation, we'll just go on ahead and say through about the 23rd of June. It's going to be this crossover energy, but it's a blessing. And it may be that Jamie Foxx comes out of whatever's going on and he's like, I got to do something different. I was doing way too much. I need to slow down. Or maybe, if some of these theories that we hear, is true, where he's just like, I need out of the industry, who knows? Like, honestly, if this is correct with this moon in the 12th house, he could have had a whole bunch of unspoken stuff like, I hate everything that I'm doing and I don't want anything to do with this, right? But he didn't voice it. Or he's walking around with this wound like, my mama gave me up, and he just hadn't been able to like get that, like really get it healed up. Because something I've been noticing about myself here lately is that trauma can be the thing that pushes you, because you feel so, it's like this hole. This is how I described it myself. It's like I feel like there's a hole, and it just makes us race. And some people can become extremely successful because it's this hole, this emptiness inside of them. But at some point, you can only do so much until we've got to face it, right? So it could be, if he isn't healed up, that's in him, this wounding from the mom. And so it's like he's going to wake up and just be like, I need therapy, and I need some spiritual work. I got to go do some retreats and stuff like that. I'm not going to be able to do nothing until I'm able to, get this healing work done. I think it's going to be a mix. But when Jupiter comes into Taurus, man, Jamie Foxx is going to get some support for real. It makes me so, so excited. Actually, he's going to get support too because of these planets. Or like, he has Venus here, if this part of fortune is correct. So there is a part of me that feels very hopeful, although I think it is going to take a while. I do think it is going to take a while because these eclipses are not playing with him. All right. But there is a lot of support that is here for Jamie Foxx. If I don't lay low, I'm going to have to keep tearing things down off the mantle like Medea. Oh my god. And then exiting the room very ladylike. So yeah, I'm laying low. Bliss. He eventually let his mom live with him when she came with open arms, and his father. He is very forgiving, maybe too forgiving. That might be a good thing though, Bliss. And one thing that we all know is that we can forgive, but that doesn't get rid of the hole. It doesn't fix it. There's still something that will have to be done. Woo! Actually, Chiron is opposite his series right now, and this series has to do with nourishment. It's something about this career. It's something about this acting career that I think has really kind of, yeah, it could be people coming for him, but it's something about this career that Jamie Foxx is going to have to take a new approach, I think, in order for him moving forward to have the success, continued success in his career. Wow. I love that. Okay, let me pull a card. I think I'm going to pull from Healing Not Broken deck. Healing Not Broken. And again, I invite anyone who hadn't seen that I have a retreat coming up just for you all. It is a retreat. We meet on Zoom and we go deep. Yeah, so join me on the 16th next week. Let's see what we have here. It's the stars. I'm gonna put just a little music. Okay. Healing Not Broken. Right? Oh, my volume is down low. Sorry about that, y'all. I know I'm throwing y'all around with the sound. Okay. Be who you are and say what you feel. Those who don't mind, those who mind don't matter. And those who matter don't mind. That's by Dr. Seuss. Be who you are and say what you feel. Those who mind don't matter. And those who matter don't mind. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I'm reading that correctly. I'm going to pull from my mindful messages. So let's speak our truth, sisters. This is from my mindful messages. Here's something that we can all consider for the rest of our week. My own energy. I love being there for friends and family while staying true to myself. I don't let others' energy or mood affect my own. To help a friend in a hole, I don't need to jump in the hole with them. Simply reach out a hand. It's up to them to do the rest. My own energy. And then this is the other one. Be who you are and say what you feel. Those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Last one from my Affirmations for Women deck. I can feel it rising within me. I was made to feel love, to give love, to search for the beauty in our everyday life. If that ain't Venus and Oshun and the maiden goddess, I don't know what is. All right. Okay, queens, thank y'all so much for being here. This has been a really nourishing, good time for me. I appreciate you all. Please make sure you give my video a like. It helps the channel. Yes, good. It helps the channel. Please share the live stream. Maybe somebody you know who would benefit from the live stream. If you are interested in coming to the retreat, it is the details are in the description box. And yeah, just remember, we are powerful women. We are bold. We are resilient. We have the power to take care of ourselves so that we can show up to our lives and manifest whatever it is that we desire. We're powerful creatrices, okay? So just remember that. All right. Thank y'all so much for being here. And yeah, see y'all in the next Inspired Goddess Morning Circle G Hive. Peace.